Hey there, my name is Timothy VonWald. I'm a student at Regent. And I want to discuss with you this leadership model called Everyday People, Extraordinary Leadership. And it is by Kouzes and Posner. What makes this leadership model so special is that you can practice it today. And I'll first answer a couple of questions about leadership, and then I'll discuss the model. So first I'll discuss the questions. What is leadership? Leadership, according to John Maxwell, is influence, nothing more and nothing less. John Maxwell in his book discusses an NFL coach named as Dan Reeves, and he says it didn't matter that Reeves held the title and position of head coach, and it didn't matter how good a coach Reeves was. Shanahan had become the more influential leader in the quarterback's life, and leadership is influence. That's from John Maxwell. So who is a leader? Kouzes and Posner say in an organization with 100 employees, the probability of finding an individual with zero leadership behaviors is zero, which means that everybody has some leadership behaviors. Kouzes and Posner discuss their 5-part model. The parts are: first, model the way; then, inspire a shared vision; number 3 is challenge the process. Number 4 is enable others to act. And part 5 is encourage the heart. So modeling the way means to live out some strong values in your life. Now, anybody can bark orders, but you reinforce those directions that you tell others to do by modeling the behavior yourself. I used to be an usher captain, and as an usher captain, I would send out other ushers to check on the cars on the church parking lot while the service was going on, which meant that if I was modeling the way, that on occasion I would have to go out too and check the church parking lot. Modeling the way basically means not telling other people to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. Now, the next part is inspiring a shared vision, or creating a shared vision. It's important to know where you're going. Have you ever driven on a foggy road? You know that if you drive on a foggy road, that you have to slow down almost to a crawl and maybe even stop if the fog gets too thick. But now, if the fog is lifted and you can see miles on ahead, then you can drive with confidence and ease. That's what happens when you have a shared vision. It means you know where you're going, and because you know where you're going, you can drive there confidently. Part 3 is challenging the process. Challenging the process requires you to take a chance, take a risk. I used to take on these training assignments on my job, and I would tell my wife when I take these training assignments on, I would say, whenever we do role play, I'm the first to volunteer. And I found that when I am first at volunteering, it makes other people feel more confident and more willing to volunteer as well. If you've ever watched the movie Gettysburg, there's a little scene of confrontation between General Lee and his subordinate general, General Longstreet. General Lee says to him in his very soft, gentle voice, "You, sir, have a very bad habit of going out in front." But Longstreet replies, "You can't lead from behind." And that's the truth. You cannot lead from behind. And that's what it means to challenge the process. Then part 4 is enabling others to act. Now, enabling others to act means that you have to become a trusting individual. Kouzes and Posner say, individuals who are unable to trust others fail to become leaders precisely because they can't stand being dependent on others. Since they don't trust other people, the result is that those people don't trust them either. Have you ever been around suspicious people? People who found other people suspicious for one reason or another? Chances are you probably didn't feel very trusting of that individual. You have to give trust away to receive trust from others. The next one is encouraging the heart. Now, Peter Northouse says, and I quote, "The first step in motivating others is to let workers know they are competent." And Solomon writes, "A man's spirit will endure sickness, but a crushed spirit who can bear?" In other words, a lot of times we run into difficulties whenever we're trying to do something great. And when we run into those difficulties, it's very easy to want to get discouraged and give up. But a leader will encourage other people's heart. I want to give you a little poem that I wrote. It says, "So many books were never written. So many mountains were never climbed. So many inventions were never discovered. So many dreams were never realized. All for a lack of encouragement." So in conclusion, I just want to remind you that leadership is influencing others. Anyone can be a leader, and leadership involves modeling the way, creating a shared vision, challenging the process, enabling others to act, and encouraging the heart. This is Timothy VonWald reminding you, you are a great leader.